16th, 2021. Good evening. Welcome to this night on Metro Television Live. From our studios here on Dr. Isaac Street, North Ridge, in Accra, live on the DSTV channel 277 and live on Facebook at Metro News. My name is Noble Crosby. Annan.
My name is Antwi. Coming up in the bulletin. Minority in Parliament reject Defence Minister's explanation on President Akufo-Addo's use of a rented lavish aircraft for official trips abroad. Still in Parliament, deputy ministerial nominees approved, but not without some reservation from the minority side.
Also in this bulletin, Africa Education Watch calls for an independent oversight body for the West African Examination Council in order to avert examination malpractices and other problems associated with conducting examinations in Ghana.
In business, former Finance Minister Seth Terkper calls on government not to burden citizens with more taxes as cost of living surges.
In sports tonight, we bring you details of a Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight scheduled for July 24.
And on the foreign front, President Joe Biden says tone of talk between him and Russian President Vladimir Putin were good and positive.
You're welcome to News Night. Our first story this evening. Father of the killed police officer involved in the daylight robbery incident which took place at Adedenkpo, Jamestown, Peter Kennedy Atta, says his life is shaking as his only breadwinner is no more. My colleague Ohiman Ponsa has been speaking to the father of the deceased.
I took medication before I slept. So when I woke up, I couldn't sleep. I came and sat down here, and I was weeping. I wept. And after now, I'm not comfortable. Not comfortable at all. Because it's the only, or they are only sons that I rely on, I depend on, my life depends on these two. That's why I'm saying that if I die today, I would have feel better. If I were to die, it would have been better for me. Because I'm a pensioner. How am I going to purchase drugs? I know a lot of drugs. So, I told him when he travel, I'll report him because he has to bury me. I've suffered pension. I went on pension before he went to university. Sister, it's not easy. I was sleeping on the floor. He came, said, "Da, what from my chair?" And he bought me a bed. For the past about 6 years, I was sleeping on the floor because of how to maintain him at the school. He came and bought me a bed. That's why I've moved or sleeping on the bed. And this thing will happen to me, to Kobe. It's Kobe, we are calling Kobe. Sister, I wish I'd die.
Meanwhile, the Accra Regional Police Commander, DCOP Afol Boche Yadom, on Wednesday led a team to visit the family of Ifua Bedu, who was murdered by armed robbers on the 14th of June 2021 at Jamestown here in Accra. Police service assured the family of its commitment to arrest the perpetrators. According to management of Kolebu Teaching Hospital, the driver of the bullion van, who sustained various degrees of injuries, is currently still undergoing treatment. which will bring you. Former Chief of Defense Staff Brigadier General Nuno Mensah has predicted that Ghana would soon suffer anarchy considering the way security challenges are being handled in the country. In an interview with Metro TV's Annie Ampofo, the former Chief of Defense Staff of the Ghana Armed Forces bemoaned the manner in which the party force soldiers were infiltrated in Ghana's security installations.
Leadership of the police service has been heavily criticized for not doing enough to protect citizens as the country grapples with insecurity. After a police officer and a bystander were shot dead at Jamestown on Monday, the backlash has intensified. Security experts believe the police service needs to be overhauled.
The robbers have become more brazen. They've become more audacious in the manner in which they stage their attacks. Primarily because of our inability to stop them in their track. They've become very motivated because of our inability to invest in crime and investigation.
The economic impact of this armed robbery on activities in the corridor has been extremely negative. Indeed, there are major markets. There's the Yeji market, there's the Zamrama market, there's the Atebubu market, there's the Kwame Dansuke Jeji market. Arising out of the increasing spate of armed robbery, the patronage of those markets are dwindling.
But the Inspector General of Police, James Opon Buenu, in response to criticisms from the general public, says that the increasing rate of crime is not peculiar to Ghana.
So in actual fact, we are actually doing what we can to protect the people of Ghana. There's no society in the world where there's no crime. Even in the US, in the UK, Sweden, and all those countries where I would say they more or less have everything. They still have crime. The only place that doesn't have crime is heaven, and we are not in heaven.
Former Chief of Defense Staff Brigadier General Nuno Mensah is unhappy about the recruitment process of the Ghana Police Service.
It's happening in Ghana. It's an eye-opener. It's a wake-up call that we should wake up. Because
Now, in the wake of the recent rise in crime in the country, security expert Adam Bona is calling on government to invest in intelligence gathering as a means to bring to the barest minimum the recent crime rate. While speaking on Good Afternoon Ghana with Francisco Kakrafosing, the security analyst also noted the 20,000 cedis bounty for information leading to the arrest of the Jamestown bullion ban robbers was woefully inadequate.
Well, I think what they need to do, I have repeatedly said it. Intelligence, intelligence, intelligence. There are three things. Intelligence, the first one is intelligence, the second one is intelligence, the third one is intelligence. If the police is properly structured and properly tooled and properly trained with all the things that is required of them with the right persons in charge, what is going to happen is that they will collect, intel on, could be criminals, gangs who are preparing to strike, and they will be able to arrest them before they strike. And so the police know what they have to do. The only thing has to do with being bold and having the right persons to take decisions and ensure that they are ahead of the criminals. I heard the IGP or someone like that mention 20,000 Ghana cedis to be given to anyone who is able to give information leading to the arrest. But is that enough for an informant to give you information on a police officer who is
That's
shot?
not
20,000 is, I don't know. No.
What would have been enough then?
Well, if you ask me, I would have been expecting 50,000 or a double of that. You want to give something that is larger.
Well, let's still stay on security and have a conversation with Upper East Regional Correspondent to tell us more about the security situation along the border communities in the region, as there are fears that Burkinabe bandits have invaded our borders. Adam, welcome to, Francis, welcome to Newsnight. Let's start with this. How are residents in the Upper East region reacting to the news of a possible invasion of bandits in the region?
Yes, Crosby, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And the people of the Upper East region, the residents for that matter, are very worried, certainly worried, have every reason to be worried because of this very bad news. The residents are saying that the police promising that they are on high alert. It is not enough to arrest these bandits from crossing the Burkina border to the neighboring country, Paga and the rest. So they are saying that they need the security and for the government has to work hard in getting the porous borders fixed, and that in a way would avert the bandits from coming. So certainly, as of now, they are very well about the situation, and from tomorrow forward, military nuclear will be storming the Paga borders, the Dongonamo borders, the Kyo borders, to find out what residents are talking about this very bad news.
Francis, in the face of the apprehension of the residents in the region, what have the police authorities been telling you?
Exactly. Today, I had a conversation with the regional PRO, and he's been telling me that in fact they are dealing with the issue at a national level, and in the next few days, they will be meeting the media to discuss the way forward. But in fact, he has been treated that everything is under control, and then the command is doing everything possible to avert these people from coming up.
Back to the residents, the reason or the assurance given by the police service to them, are they confident enough? Are they receiving it in good faith?
Certainly not. They are not really receiving the news in good faith. What they are saying is that, in fact, there's no way the police and any other security will be able to tackle the issue unless the porous borders are fixed. And as I said now, you go to few borders and everything is just, the porous borders, people come in haphazardly and they think, in fact, these bandits will be able to penetrate. So the earlier they tackle the porous borders issue, the better.
Right, but the police service talked to you about the approach they are adopting in this, given that not long ago about 400 Nigerians and Burkinabés were arrested in the region. What approach are they adopting this time?
Yes, for now, they have not been able to tell us exactly the plans that they are putting in place to, prevent it from happening, but they are promising that they will keep the stakeholders updated, and they are going to have a meeting with the RESEC, and then they'll come up with a way forward in that regard.
Francis, we're grateful for your time with us on Newsnight. We've been speaking with APA's regional correspondent, Francis Dagwan, bringing us up to speed on the security situation in the APA's region.
From security, we turn our attention to some health matters. The health minister, Kwekwajiman Menu, has justified the government's procurement of Sputnik V vaccine at an overpriced $19 instead of $18.5. Addressing these concerns, the minister said Ghana was left with no choice but to sign this agreement since our avenues of acquiring the vaccine had failed. He gave the remarks on the sideline of program organized to officially launch the Pest and Vector Control Association in Ghana.
Government has under intense pressure following its decision to use intermediaries to secure over 3 million Sputnik V vaccines at a cost of $19 and $18.5 instead of the $10 on the international market. Addressing these concerns, the Minister of Health said the lives of Ghanaians is paramount. Hence, government had no choice than to engage middlemen.
At the time that we signed this agreement, FDA has approved of only 2 vaccines, AstraZeneca and Sputnik. COVAX has indicated to us that all our deliveries that were going to come after the first drop will be delayed until June, July, because India has banned exports.
That means many people.
So there was nothing coming from there. The African Medicine Supply Platform, we had registered with them. The one they were allocating to us, Johnson & Johnson, had not been released, registered in Ghana, not even elsewhere in the world. And they couldn't give us nothing. The indication was until August. So we didn't have much options to swim around. Our LC delayed for some reasons. When it got to them and it was confirmed, they sent us a message that they had run out of stocks. And up to I speak, they haven't been able to drop 1 single dose. What wrong have I committed? There are several other things I should have gone through. But an emergency, where people are dying, the disease is spreading, and we have found an antidote to vaccinate. And the president has promised Ghanaians that will protect the nation through the vaccination. What else could I have done?
In a sharp rebuttal, however, the managing editor of the Insight newspaper, Kwesi Pratt Jr., has challenged the minister to support his claim with evidence.
We are lucky, okay? Ghana's president is president of ECOWAS. You understand? Communicators of government and of the ruling party tell us how great our president is in international circles. They even tell us that he's a personal friend of President Macron and so on. And yet he can't pick the phone and call Vladimir Putin and tell him that, my brother, I need help. I want your vaccine. So what is the president using all the influence that we claim he has for? Let them show us the correspondence.
What else could he?
Let them show us the correspondence. Because we know that there was one letter.
Yes.
We know that there was one letter.
29th of April.
Of course, 29th of April, one letter which declared Ghana's intention to buy Sputnik V. After that, there was no correspondence.
At a press conference in Accra on Wednesday, the Minister of Health indicated that the vaccines may arrive in August.
That we have placed orders to the African Medicines Platform in our efforts to engage bilaterally. And we have indications now that we have approved Johnson & Johnson that our first batch of vaccines to come from that window, the AU-supported procurement, will begin to arrive in this country sometime in August.
Well, still on health, the Minister for Health, Kweku Agyeman-Manu, has called on Ghanaians who have not received the second COVID-19 vaccines jabs to remain calm as government is working around the clock to secure more vaccines. Now, explaining the delay has been caused by the unavailability of vaccines on the market, he said there is, however, scientific data that proves that one is somewhat protected from the virus even when the second jab for the vaccine delays than the stipulated time. The Minister of Health also gave other updates on the country's COVID-19 situation as of June 15.
From March last year to this time, 15th of June, it's around 94,619. Total tests reported. We have done 1.2 million, a little over that, tests, including the test at Kotoka International Airport. Our positivity rate, we used to have 10 sometime last year. Despite our second wave, our positivity rate is now 7.8%. Total deaths, however, is quite big, 789. Those of us who have not had our second dose yet, there is a lot of hope. We have indications that is giving us hope for the very near future. We are expecting vaccines from the US. We've got a promise from the UK to try to help us get our second dose go through very quickly.
You're still watching News Night here on Metro Television. We're going for a short break. We'll be back with more news.
As a mother and wife, my priority is making sure my family is protected at all times. That is why I never forget to give my angel a Flora disposable handkerchief to keep germs and sweat at bay. When hubby is out in the fields, I'm rest assured of Flora coming in handy anytime he needs it. Even when my daughter-in-law is out late, I am confident Flora disposable handkerchief will be close enough to save the moment. Flora disposable handkerchiefs are my go-to disposable handkerchiefs any day, anytime, and everywhere. Flora disposable handkerchiefs is affordable and handy. Flora, better than cloth handkerchiefs. Flora is a product of Delta Paper Mill Limited. For inquiries and bulk purchases, call 0243 033 033.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X natural mineral water. Simply natural.
You're welcome. Still to other stories, Minister of Defense Dominic Nitiwul has justified the use of a rented aircraft for President Akufo-Addo on foreign trips. He said the move was necessary to ensure the safety and convenience of the president due to the COVID-19 pandemic surge in Europe. The minister, who was reacting to an urgent question filed by the Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, who alleged that the president's decision to rent an Airbus for his official trip abroad cost the taxpayer some 2.8 million cedis.
Answering an urgent question in Parliament from the North Tongue MP, the Defence Minister Dominic Nitiwul said the current presidential aircraft cannot be relied on for long-distance travels.
The choice to travel by road, by air or by sea is a national security imperative, and I have reason to release the aircraft, this particular aircraft, to other VVIPs, including ex-presidents, to carry out national duties. VVIP or presidential travel is not about aircraft type. It is not even about cost, but it's all about safety and safety of the aircraft crew and the passengers.
Among other safety concerns, he further stressed that the presidential jet has no washroom facilities.
You will need more than just a Falcon. Otherwise, the people would have to go a day ahead of the president to prepare themselves. The president, in fact, has to go a day ahead because no president can shower in this aircraft. You cannot freshen up in this aircraft. So you cannot move from this aircraft straight into a meeting. If you are using a commercial plane, Mr. Speaker, it's the same thing. If you are going and you stop by Emirates, the Dubai government will have to give you courtesies. When you are going to the United Kingdom, the United Kingdom government will have to give you courtesies that are not necessary.
But the response drew a sharp criticism from the minority side.
Other people.
Wouldn't we be saving money if you advise the president to acquire a new aircraft instead of this expensive £15,000 an hour arrangement? Clearly, this cannot be sustainable.
The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, is scheduled to appear before the House on Thursday, June 17, to provide details of the cost of the 9-day official trip by the President.
Meanwhile, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa insists his side isn't satisfied with the responses given by the Defense Minister. According to him, the minority will in the future resist attempts by the President to rent a private jet for official duties abroad.
We as a minority are not impressed one bit by the answers the Defense Minister provided. The question was simple. What is the state of the presidential jet, the Falcon 900 EXE, and is it airworthy? That is the simple, urgent question. Look at how we are struggling even to get vaccines today for the people, to protect the people from COVID. And then we blow 2.8 million cedis for just 23 hours. And that is the minimum amount. And you will hear tomorrow from the Finance Minister that this is even a conservative estimate, if they will be honest and candid with the people of this country and with this House. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are not happy with the Defense Minister's responses. We are going to continue to pursue this matter to its logical conclusion. Ultimately, we want to stop the President from engaging in this profligate, ostentatious, extravagant means of travel. Because as we pointed out, from that same company, Acropolis Aviation, which is based in Farnborough, UK, where this ACJ 320neo was chartered, they have in their fleet other jets that could have been leased. So why go for this, the world's most, if you go on, you can Google, just Google ACJ 320 Neo. It's there as the world's most luxurious, the most expensive aircraft that the world has ever seen. And a poor country, rich nations are not going for that jet. And we, a poor country, we are going for that jet. What, I mean, what is wrong with us? And using it to go and beg. And we say we just want to shower in the sky. What is so special about showering in the sky?
Still in Parliament, the House has approved 11 deputy ministerial nominees and a Minister of State following the recommendation for the adoption of the Appointments Committee report by Parliament on Wednesday. The minority, however, has issues with possible future conflict of interest on part of some of the nominees who own some companies in the country.
In respect of the Honorable Edugwahin, the Speaker of Parliament must take a position. How do we resolve a potential future conflict of interest that will border on unethical behavior, which unethical behavior, Mr. Speaker, is captured in Article 284 of the Constitution on the Code of Conduct for Public Officers. The fact that it was wrong yesterday doesn't make it right today. So we need to be guided how to resolve it. Maybe he should assure this House that from this period until he leaves the Ministry of Finance, we are sure that he will not engage in any business because he will be taking undue advantage of the process and structure. I asked him the question of insider trading. Just merely sitting as Minister of Trade gives him an opportunity to tell an investor that government will be issuing bonds next week or next month, and he can make a fortune out of it. So we need to resolve this matter of a potential conflict of interest. All those in favor of the adoption of the committee, say aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. The following members have been accordingly approved by the House as Deputy Ministers of State, including a Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance. They are Mr. Charles Kofi Asare Edugwahin as the Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance.
Away from that story, Africa Education Watch, as the quota in Ghana's education system, has launched an independent report on the conduct of WASI 2020 organized by the West Africa Examination Council. The Education Watch, in this report to the government with copies to the Ghana Education Service, amongst others, listed 10 key recommendations as an antidote to the annually negative growing standards in WASI and Ghana. We'll quickly show you some of the recommendations from Africa Education Watch, as you can see on your screen. Let's quickly go to the recommendations from Africa Education Watch. The first recommendation, it says, is to regulate WAEC. It is urging government to regulate WAEC, break the WAEC monopoly, as well as deitize the question distribution system, reinforce ban on the use of mobile phones, strengthen and publicize prosecutions. Also, divorce GES MOE from the WAEC's governing committee. These are 6 recommendations from Africa Education Watch. The 7th says, engage external consultants to speed up investigations into alleged malpractices. 8, MOE should ensure timely release of funds to WAEC, review assessment methods, conduct nationwide anti-examination malpractices campaign. Well, let's have a conversation on this. Speak with the Executive Director of Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, as he joins us on Zoom. Kofi, welcome to Newsnight. Let's start with this. What went into the thinking of the recommendations to government?
Good evening, and thank you very much for having me. The recommendations were informed by the findings. We engaged close to 30 key informants, including WAEC staff, WAEC board members, former WAEC board members, head teachers, students, teachers, and WAEC contractors. I'm talking about invigilators and then supervisors. And we also engaged head teachers and teachers in Nigeria and Sierra Leone. Those are other WAEC member countries, to better understand what the issues were, not only in respect of the leakage of questions, which has especially become part of our examination system, but most importantly, for the first time in the history of WAEC, the leakage of examiners' contact details. As part of our efforts to find lasting solutions, we engaged the stakeholders who came out with various proposals which could stem the tide of leakages once and for all. We admit that in the past and immediate present, WAEC has been taking some steps to improve the security system. But you realize that the focus has been on how to prevent students from copying in the examination hall and how to prevent students from taking foreign materials into the examination hall. The focus has not been on how to block the channels through which questions leak from WAEC or from the Ghana Police Service. And that is where we are focusing on, because until you block the channels that the questions leak, you cannot be expecting that checkmating students in the examination room is enough, insulation against questions and answers.
Okay, Kofi, Nana here, your third recommendation was the fact that the distribution of questions should be digitized. In the age where there's so many hackers and then the system of IT growing, how can we sustain this without infiltrating still the problem that we are trying to cure?
That is the best solution at the moment. What we are proposing is that, one, government has provided Wi-Fi in almost all senior high schools. This is great. All we need to do is to get printers in every senior high school. And then when it's time for the examination, WAEC will send an end-to-end encrypted email to all senior high schools, which will be printed using these printers located or situated in the examination halls. It will take less than 10 minutes for all senior high schools in Ghana to receive this email and print the papers out in the full glare of all students and invigilators. Then they are shared. Even if it takes 30 minutes to do this, it will be difficult, or it will be impossible for anyone to get the questions, go and solve them, and distribute them on any platform, any WhatsApp platform or Telegram platform for students to go and cheat. Why? Because 30 minutes prior to the examination, every student must be seated in the examination hall.
Right.
And so that happens to be the best way to cut out the human involvement, the police, teachers, from the entire question distribution value chain, and then deal directly with the students in their examination halls.
Okay. Mr. Sari, we'll find time and talk more on the access to internet services, but one key area you focused on was breaking the monopoly of WAEC as well as regulating WAEC. Remember that it has been, in the country for over 2 decades. Why the thinking to break the monopoly and why the urge to regulate it?
Lessons from countries that we are seeking to build our education system, akin to theirs, and even better, is that in the development of education systems, you normally will start with one assessment body. But there are emerging on a daily basis new methods of assessment. At the same time, if you stick to one examination body, there is some inertia towards innovation and continuous improvement. And so if you go to the UK, for instance, there are about 6 assessment bodies, all under one regulator. If you go to Nigeria, WAEC doesn't operate under a monopoly there in Nigeria, even though Nigeria is part of WAEC. And so having other competitors like Cambridge Education and other reputable assessment bodies in Ghana who have been conducting examination every day, and we are yet to hear of a single leakage, will help WAEC compete, improve their quality, and then also become innovative. Most importantly, having this competition taking place under a regulator that will set standards, enforce standards, and then sanction the assessment bodies for any drop in standards or compliance issues will ensure that WAEC no more becomes the standard setter, becomes its own referee, its own judge, and then its own player on the football park. And so that is one way we can build an accountable assessment system. For now, WAEC is accountable to only itself because it actually sets its own standards.
Right.
And then it assesses itself, and then it always clears itself from any irregularity.
Right.
That is not the way to go if you want to improve.
Mr. Sari, we'll interrogate all the 10 points, 10 recommendations you've stipulated later. Thank you so much for your time with us On Newsnight, we've been speaking with the Executive Director of Africa Education Watch. It's now time for the latest in business with Kenneth.
Well, hello, Crosby. Thank you very much. My name is Kenneth. We'll be right back. A tax expert, Abdullah Ali Nakia, has called on other stakeholders to whip up education on the need to pay taxes to get more Ghanaians into the tax net. He spoke at the PFM Tax Africa Network Dialogue Series in Accra.
At a dialogue series by the Public Financial Management PFM Tax Africa Network, a former Finance Minister Seth Terkper stressed the need for government to widen the tax net.
GRA should be equipped, right, because their training, audit techniques and the rest was focused on the old economy. Some of it is relevant to the new economy, but every new economy has a structure of its own. So they must also be equipped so that they can go after the new economy. And then we also say that when, as a result of that, as I was giving the example, non-core financial services, VAT is not on interest. It has never been on interest. Because when you take your money to the bank, you are saving. You are not spending, right? And so as a consumption tax, it shouldn't be on your savings.
Chief Executive Officer of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, said government should make room for Ghanaians to know why they pay specific taxes.
It shouldn't be the case that people who are paying a tax would not know exactly why they are paying a tax, and if there are multiplicity of a tax that they are paying, they must be told. So the certainty of policy surrounding taxation is one of the key elements of this conversation, which I suspect would be taken in good faith by the government.
A tax expert, Abdullah Ali Achia, cautioned government not to overtax citizens.
Technically and looking at the law, VAT is 12.5%. But constructively, when you take the GET Fund, National Health Insurance and COVID levy, you add all up, they are all taxes. That's why we are calling for transparency and certainty. Can we do stakeholder engagement? Engage the business sector, taxpayers, and then they should be educated on the need for the tax. And that's why we are arguing that we should also be careful that we can't tax ourselves into prosperity. It's not done. The higher the taxes and the multiplicity of taxes, the higher the tendency for people to evade.
The theme for the program was 20 years of VAT, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
The Executive Director of COPEC, Duncan Amwa, has commended government for replacing the Managing Director and his deputy at the Tema Oil Refinery. According to him, the current challenges confronting TOR, such as the financial mismanagement, labor and other administrative issues, will now be settled. He added that three-member committee will propel efficient management of its resources and production. He spoke in an exclusive interview with Metro News' Winston Taki.
From the affairs of the refinery and let it work as an economic concern. To ensure that you have a very good management board in place who are simply refinery economics oriented and not there for any games or because we want to serve some people's interest either socially or politically. It should be run as an economic concern that has the potency to contribute to Ghana's economic development. And three, you would need the adequate and appropriate funding or financing that should be able to modernize both the RFCC, add some new boilers where possible to expand the capacity of the refinery. And so once you have the ministry and government moving in to ensure that management is actually also changed, there's an interim management in place, we can say it is a very good first step. The other two bits would also have to be factored in there. The refinery would need
Now let's take a look at how the city is performing against other major trading currencies and also the prices of some commodities on the world market. And that's it for business. I'm Kenneth, Jesse, Nana and Crosby are standing by for the rest of the news.
Thanks so much, Kenneth. We're taking a break. We'll be back with sports.
Nobody does it better. At UCS Facility Management, we give you the best in janitorial services, which include high-rise window cleaning, office cleaning, post-construction cleaning, facade washing, deep cleaning, carpet cleaning, swimming pool cleaning, and event janitorial services. Locate us at Jowolu, JA Plant Pool premises, or call us on 0501 666 322 or 0203 299 212 or 0203 299 234. UCS, your property is under our care.
In Ghana and in Africa, there is only one place to look to get that luxurious design and decor for your offices and homes. Visit Jamila Home. We give you the climax of luxury wherever you find yourself. Presidential and executive office furniture, living room sets, dining set, stunning mirrors, adorable wallpapers, lovely king and queen size beds, valuable antiques and antique goods, beautiful chandeliers and more. Into the bargain, we provide caring customer service, prompt delivery service, skilled and artistic full house design and decor services, and free decor ideas for your space. Our products and service is unparalleled, boasting of top-tier clients all over the globe. Jamila Home, home of first-class quality furniture, beautiful chandeliers, and antiques.
Before we bring you sports, let's now look at the teenager who was killed at Kaswa, where the Attorney General has advised the police service to charge the teenager suspect in the killing of the 11-year-old boy with conspiracy to commit murder. And the case, which is in court at the moment, this comes after the copy of the docket was submitted to the Attorney General's office for advice in the ongoing trial.
Now, the two suspects, including a minor, have been remanded for 1 month. Here is the lawyer for the accused, Samuel Etwahine.
You're all aware. Everybody is interested in this case. And as I said earlier on, I'm very happy that the AG has worked hard to bring that right so that at least we can commence the trial. And the AG has directed that they should charge the accused person for conspiracy to murder and forward the docket to AG for the bill of indictment and summary of evidence to be prepared so that we can start the trial as early as possible. So I've been able to reach them, but we are cooperating. But for their security, I don't want to disclose where they are now. Yes.
Are you still going to the High Court for the bill application?
Yes, I'm going to the High Court for the bill application.
How soon?
Let's see, by next week, I'll move my application.
Which means you've already filed the bill application?
I'll say yes.
All right, thank you.
Still watching News Night. My colleague Johnny is in the studio with updates in sports. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, my brother. How are you?
Great.
Well, British boxing fans are disappointed because Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder will go at each other for the third time. We'll bring you news in the Ghana Premier League and European Championship. Up next, sports. My name is Phil John Quarter. British boxing fans have been left disappointed when it was announced that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder will mount the ring for the third time. The fight is scheduled to take place on the 24th of July at the T-Mobile Arena in Los Angeles.
I wanted black in blood. That's my motivation. Revenge. Glass are glass. Not only is Fury in for a shot, but the whole world is. I'm looking forward to July the 24th. I visualized it for a year and a half. And wherever touch, he goes. I don't have no point to prove to them because when it comes to Deontay Wilder, it's damn if you do and damn if you don't. So I don't care what people see or what they say, you know. It is what it is.
What I'm going to do to Deontay Wilder this time, I'm going to run him over as if I'm an 18-wheeler and he's a human being. And I guarantee you he does not go past where he did before. Because before I only had 5 or 6 weeks of practicing what I was going to do to him. This time I've had 18 months of practicing what I'm going to do to him. So I anticipate it's going to be like an 18-wheeler running over somebody. And that's what you're going to see. I'm building my weight up. I'm trying to get up to 300 pounds for this fight. Yeah, because I'm looking for a big knockout straight away.
Well, British boxers and connoisseurs of the game in Britain are quite disappointed. They were expecting to see the bout involving Tyson Fury and AJ. Let's move ahead and focus on the European Championship. And Russian grabbed their first win on the ongoing European Championship when they beat Finland by a goal to nil. Meanwhile, Wales defeated Turkey by 2-0. Let's see the highlight.
And quicker to it than Sheik, and finding Aaron Ramsey. Ramsey.
Football pa and nothing a high sense as sponsor Euro 2020 Edia Mauno Nesa Suntina Yatiti TV so say who Edia Mauno a high sense Euro 2020 TV super promo can who brand new high sense TV and nebuo dafo pictures near clear na color near deep sound quality this so dear one it here high sense TV so dear entry power about down one access you are akona utusa abefo if it's 18th June, I confirm 11th July. A Hisense Hero 2020 TV Super Promo. And my refisa Hisense and Kwan and my 5 years warranty. A Hisense Hero 2020 TV Super Promo. I cost a Hisense showrooms. I want Ghana for Nanina. What you would you not send you? Hisense everyday prices for everyday people. Hisense official sponsor at the Hero 2020.
Welcome back to News Night. Entertainment is next, and Harriet Addy joins us in the studio to bring us the very latest. What's coming up, Harriet?
There's a lot in entertainment news. There's more after this. Stay tuned for more. Multiple award-winning reggae and dancehall artist Stonebwoy has pledged his support to the Green Ghana project launched by the president last week. The dancehall act spoke to Metro News on the sidelines of a tree planting exercise at Royal St. Chi Hotel in Akosomo in the eastern region.
Growing up in my house, my dad had this one planted, and my mom actually knows about a lot of trees. So me, I'm a herbs guy. Okay. You know, so I think that we all have to encourage one another. Plant a tree, you know, keep trees around, because like she said already, it's really very important and vital. Look at everything we see, is trees. Everything it gives shelter and all these things, and it's good for the ecosystem as well. So thank you, follow us, let's go and plant this tree and climate, you know, all these ones now. Oh me, okay, I think some months ago or years ago I was made a climate change ambassador as well. You know, same as environmental, you know, I've always been a part of these movements so that we can have a better life. We can not only leave everything to our minds.
Let's talk about the latest James Bond movie, and the upcoming movie has set a second franchise record for the lead actor Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig is an English actor best known for playing James Bond in the eponymous film series, which brought him international fame. According to an upcoming James Bond marathon event, Daniel Craig's final appearance as 007 in No Time to Die is about to set a second franchise record, with high expectations about the movie hitting theaters after their COVID-19 hiatus. Some may have managed to forget that October marks the arrival of Daniel Craig's final turn as James Bond in No Time to Die. With the pandemic delaying the movie by a year, the current 007 is breaking records even before it has a chance to make any money at the box office, due to the movie being pushed back 3 times, first to November 2020, then April 2021, and now again in October 2021. Daniel
On the foreign front, Russian President Vladimir Putin has praised his U.S. counterpart Joe Biden at the summit in Geneva, saying he found him constructive and well-balanced. The two leaders held about 4 hours of talks covering a range of topics, including nuclear arms control and U.S. allegations of Russian cyber attacks.
Mr. Putin brushed away accusations of Russian responsibility, saying the most cyber attack in Russia was originated from the USFA.
That's all time allowed for this edition of News Night on Metro Television. We came to you from our studios on Dr. Issa Street, Northbridge in Accra. My name is Noble Crosby Annan.
My name is Nana Yawenchi. Good evening.
Metro TV,